Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today I'm going to go through tyre safety. Obviously it's very important. It's important for everyday driving and it's especially important when we're towing. So today I'm going to go through what the numbers mean on our tyres, what we should be looking for, what damage looks like and what wear looks like. And we've also discovered something quite worrying on our car while it's been parked up, and we'll go through that. This tyre safety video is going to be useful for all the vehicles that you may own that have tyres. That includes caravans, motorhomes, cars, vans and trailers. So what we'll do first is we'll go through a couple of bits of information that we're going to find on our tyres. Now our car is 2 years old, as you probably well know, and in that 2 years we've covered 35,000 miles. That's quite a big mileage, and many of those miles was while towing. Amazingly, our car is still on the original set of tyres that it came with, and these are Nexans. Now Nexan is a tyre manufacturer based in South Korea, and I have never seen tyres last like these. However, what I do know now is that these tyres are all going to need replacing before we can go back on the road. Previously, I've had several large 4x4 vehicles like our Rexton, and we have used tyres at a vast rate depending on that car. My worst car was a Range Rover, and I used to use a whole set of tyres every 6,000 miles when I was towing heavy horses. So the fact that these have lasted like they have is absolutely phenomenal. What we'll do first of all is we'll just go and have a look at a tyre, and we'll go through some of the numbers on that tyre and what they mean. If you're needing to replace a tyre, you're going to need to know what tyre to replace it with. Now, many online searches are quite easy. You can just put your car registration in and it's going to tell you what you're going to need on your car, front and rear. It's a good idea though to know yourself what size you need, because sometimes online it may not be accurate. So what do we need to know? Well, these are our tyres that our car came with. And here, as I say, it's got the manufacturer, that's Nexan. Size-wise, what do we need to know about our tyres? Well, you want to know the profile of the tyre, you want to know the width of the tyre and also the rim size. And all these you're going to find here. On the outside edge of our tyre, we're going to find the numbers we need to know. The first number on ours is 255. Now these numbers are in millimetres, so that's 255 millimetres, and that refers to the width of the tyre. That's from the inside edge in here to the outside here. So that width of tyre is 255 millimetres. The next thing here, 60. Now that's the profile of your tyre, and that's going to be from here to here. So that's sort of the thickness of your tyre. That's 60% of the width of your tyre. The letter here, R, that means it's a radial tyre. And then we find 18, and that's based on the size of your wheel. We've got 18-inch alloy wheels, so the width from here to here is 18 inches. So that's going to tell you need an 18-inch. So if I was having to purchase a new tyre, these are the very important sizes I need to make a note of. Your car might also have a different size tyre at the back. Ours are all the same, but check yours. So that's what these refer to. The next thing we need to look at, and these are important numbers and figures as well. Down here, we've got here, after the sizes again, we've got 108. Now yours may have a different number. It could range from 90 something to well over the 108. And this is the load capacity that this tyre can take. 108 actually means that this tyre is rated to take 1,000 kilograms or 1 tonne. Now we've got 4 tyres on our car, like you will. Each tyre can carry 1 tonne of weight on our car. Now if you have a lower number, it means that tyre is rated for a different load. Some tyres will go higher. I think the next tyre we get, we might go a little bit higher. We might go for 112, and that's so these tyres are rated for more weight because we do a lot of towing as well on the back end. So out of all the weight of your car, You've got to divide that weight by the 4 tyres, and that's going to tell you if it's suitable to carry that weight. Now, interestingly, a caravan tyre, now caravans only have 2 tyres on most, or if you have a twin axle, you're going to have 4 tyres. Now, caravan tyres are rated higher because if you've only got 2 tyres, you're going to divide the whole weight of your caravan onto those 2 tyres. So that's an important thing to think about if you're replacing caravan tyres. Next, we find the letter after that. Now, ours is H. This is the speed rating that your tyres are capable of taking your vehicle up to. And the H on this car represents 130 miles an hour. How fast our SsangYong Rexton will do, I don't know, but I wouldn't even be taking it to 130 because it's completely against the law. If you have a performance vehicle or a performance SUV, such as maybe a Porsche, your car may well go a lot faster than this Rexton. So you could well have a different letter rating, and different tyres are suitable for different speeds. And that certainly goes for standard cars as opposed to a large SUV. So there we go. We've got the weight and we've got the speed. Also to note on this tyre, because it is an SUV, we've got M and S, that's mud and snow tyres. It's worth taking note, these aren't specialist 4x4 tyres, it just means they're suitable for mud and snow, and they'll give you that added bonus in the winter. What we need to do now is look at why we need to replace our tyres at this moment in time. So what we're going to do next is head to the back of the car, and I'm going to show you something about tread and measuring the wear of the tread on the tyre. I'll see you back there. Jules and I regularly check our tyres, and what we check for is wear of the tread. Now, if you didn't know, the minimum tread depth on a tyre in the UK on a car is 1.6 millimetres. To help you measure that, your tyre should have a tread wear indicator, and I'll show you that in a minute. If your tyre has reached that level, you are at the legal limit of tread, and you absolutely should be replacing that tyre. Really, you should be replacing tyres before they get to that point, because that doesn't mean that's a safe level, it just means it's the legal limit. So if we look down now on our tyres, the way to find the tread wear indicator is go into your first groove and run your finger through, and you'll feel a little lump. When you feel that little lump, like I've got one there, equally, if I go this way, I'll find another one here. They're dotted around the tyre. That is the legal limit of wear that you should be at. Now, Jules and I, although we're not at our limit, we're not far off. I'd say we've still probably got 2.5 mil maybe, just above that. But for me, we're getting quite close on these tyres, and because of the amount of towing we do, I wanted to make sure that these were changed. So I've checked my tread, and I feel that for us, we're ready to change our tyres. It's interesting to note that it's not just tread that can be factoring when you need to change your tyres. And that's what we found recently. And we'll head now back up to the front of the car, and I'll show you, if I can, what I've discovered on our tyres while our car's been parked up. As well as wear to the tread, tyres can suffer a failure in the outer and inner walls of the car. And although we can see the outer edge, we can't always see the inner edge. So sometimes what you should do is just very carefully try and put your hand onto the inner edge and just pat round. Don't rub, because if there's anything sharp, you could cut your fingers, but pat round. Now, what we're looking for, on these walls, you can get a failure in the wall, and that affects the strength of this tyre, and it can lead to a dangerous blowout. What you need to feel for is, if you rub your hands around the edge, you want to feel for any lumps that feel like eggs, if you've got a bulge in the wall, or equally, if the wall dips in, if there's a dip in, that suggests that your tyre wall has failed. It's an MOT failure, and you're also going to find if the police stop you with a bulge in the tyre, you could end up with a penalty notice, or as they call it now, a traffic offence report. What that means is it means the integrity of the tyre is compromised. Now, while our car's been parked up, which has probably been now 4 weeks, We literally have used it a couple of times to drive into the village when we've had to take some washing. So that is the only time we've driven our car in the last 4 weeks. It's been stood the rest of the time. Now, I have noticed, and bearing in mind I check our tyres a lot, that while being parked up, I don't know why, but we have developed a bulge here in the outer wall. You may not be able to see it, but rubbing my hand, I can feel a bulge has developed. That means this tyre needs replacing. We should not and cannot drive this car until that's replaced. I've also felt here that there's now a dip into the wall. So it's not bulging out, it's collapsed inwards. So this tyre has had it. This will be being replaced. As you can see, I've now got a mucky hand. I've also checked on the near side, and I found the same on the near side, that the tyre wall has collapsed inwards. I'm not overly concerned because these tyres have done 35,000 miles. So what I'm going to be doing though, before I take the car now back out onto the road, I'm going to be making sure I get a garage to come out and fit 4 brand new tyres. So these are things that we should all be checking all the time. This, I say, we don't have to be going down potholes to sustain these sort of lumps and bulges. So there we go. Hopefully that's just given you a bit of an idea about tyre safety. As I say, I'm no tyre expert, but these are the things that I would be checking. The tread wear is something you need to look at, bulges and lumps, and running your hand round gently on the inside to make sure that you haven't got any cord exposed or you haven't got anything within the tyre wall inside. Hopefully that's just given you a bit of an idea about what to check for on your tyres, and that goes for tyres on any vehicle that you have, and also our caravans, motorhomes and trailer tents. So, as always, thanks for watching. I'm going to go and wash my hands now, and I'll see you in the next one.